we are joined by Adam Andrzejewski, a successful businessman who has now turned his attention to politics and public policy, and right now he's focused on the state's deeply troubled budget. Adam, you have a series of proposals that your group has put together, but it boils down to don't spend more money than we have. How much would it require if your policies were put in place? How big would the cuts have to be this year?
Well, I'm not rolling out a budget. I think the fundamental reforms that we need in Springfield are systemic spending reforms. We need to restrain the Illinois political class. I think over the course of the last 10 years and 20 years, they've proven that they don't have the spine, they don't have the political courage, and they don't have the wherewithal to restrain themselves on spending. So we need hard caps that follow meaningful spending cuts. We do need pay-go budgeting, budget reform. If you add $1 of program state spending, you need to cut $1. It's how we live at home. And then we need deep auditing to rein in the waste and the corruptions. As I've traveled the state, people are expressing their frustration in 2 words. They're telling me they're spent and they want systemic spending reform.
Well, how do you make your voice heard in Springfield? Both houses and the governor's mansion, of course, controlled by Democrats, and your group, For the Good of Illinois, represents probably the conservative wing of the Republican Party. So how do you make yourself heard?
Well, it's a great question. I think For the Good of Illinois exists to squeeze both sides of the Illinois political class for better policy and better votes, and we've had a lot of success doing that. In the last legislative session, a forensic audit, a deep audit of Medicaid and Medicare passed unanimously in both houses. Governor Quinn signed it. That audit has started. I'm proud of that policy.
Now, you know, when they passed the income tax increase in January, the Democrats who voted for it also passed spending caps. They said spending caps 2% a year. I know you want 1.5% with a different start point.
Absolutely. We need meaningful, real spending caps. And that's been the problem.
You don't think their spending caps are real?
Well, you're not serious if you cap off of a bloated budget with further increases in spending, which makes the temporary tax hikes permanent in 5 years. That's what their caps do. It's not meaningful. It's not serious.
All right. Now, the audience for this show is a pretty intelligent and news-conscious audience. Many of our viewers understand that already the Democratic spending cuts imply huge program cuts because in the out years, these public employee budget, these public employee pension and retirement costs are going to eat us alive. You'd make that situation, you would require even more cuts.
Well, I'm going to take a page from...
We're talking about cutting $3, $4, $5, $6 billion in the next few years.
I'm going to take a page from Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle. For years, people said, because of the misspending, the systemic lack of restraint of Cook County politicians, that you could not make a cut in the Cook County budget. She was able to cut 16% of her budget. If we did that in Springfield, we have a balanced budget. So I'm not here to talk about specific spending cuts. I think the purpose of our worst spent agenda is to capture the frustrations of what people are saying. They want government to tighten their belts, and if we put our 3 principal policy tenets in place over the course of the last 10 years, we wouldn't be in the same spot with financial crisis at the state level.
Why did the Republican tide that seemed to have swept the nation last year and changed the outlook of a lot of houses, a lot of senates across the state or across the country, why didn't that have any impact here in Illinois?
Well, I think we didn't compete. The Illinois Republican Party did not create a fire in every district, so the Democrats and Michael Madigan were able to create a firewall. My PAC, For the Good of Illinois PAC, was in on 4 state house races. The Democrats spent $6 million against these candidates. We were able to win 3 out of 4 of those races because we stretched the Democrats, we had a message, we organized on the ground, and we got those candidates funded. And I think that's the model going forward.
You, of course, ran for governor last time, losing to Bill Brady in the primary for governor. Are you going to run again?
Well, that election is 2014. That's 3 years from now. I think the state has real problems right now. We have to focus on the 2012 elections. Look, it's nobody's turn. It's not Bill Brady's turn. It's not Kirk Dillard's turn. It's not my turn. If you want to be the nominee for governor in 2014, you've got to earn the right. You've got to earn the right on 2 things. Policies. You got to be known for your policies that will save this state. And the second thing that you have to do is you have to help our guys win in 2012. I'm going to try to earn the right.
Yeah, that sounds like a yes.
I'm going to try to earn the right. If I can't earn the right, if our guys don't win, if we're not known for the most robust and leading-edge policy, then we need a better candidate.
Speaking of running for things, Donald Trump on the national level is talking about running for president, and is talking about the birther movement again. Talking, this controversy we thought was behind us is now being resurrected by Trump. But it seems to resonate within the Republican Party. Many believe that it is to the detriment of the Republican Party, that the birther talk is actually strengthening the Democrats. What do you think about that?
You got 30 seconds.
Well, I don't know why Barack Obama just doesn't release his birth certificate. It seems pretty basic to me. I don't know if he's trying to suck Republicans into a dead end.
Do you buy into this?
Well, I would much rather talk about more robust issues. I think the principal issue in Springfield, at the local level, at the federal level, is reform of our spending. And that's what I'm hearing from the people and the businesses of the state.
But
they want to tighten the belt.
Republicans in Illinois, isn't it?
Well, I don't stick my finger, put it up in the wind, or look at the polls. I think that people, as I travel, they want spending reform and a restraint of government, and that's our war-spent agenda.
All right, Adam Andrzejewski, it sounds like you're getting ready to run again for governor, and we're going to stay tuned. We'll have you back over the next several years.